So let's go ahead and segue, with different times right now. All right, let's get into some of the main topics for sure. Last week we were getting into it like that, and we were, money, man.
Money.
Not to take obviously a huge left field, from what we're talking about now, but really want to touch on this subject before we get into the actual main topic and stuff like that. But mortgages, all right? Didn't you just get your real estate? Congrats on that.
Just got a real estate license, bro.
What was the process, for doing that and stuff? What was the main topics that you really had to, learn?
So it's weird because it's 180 hours of coursework, but and a lot of it is learning contracting and that type of thing. Mm-hmm. But you also have to. There's a huge component of learning financing.
Yeah,
and because you have to be able to speak intelligently with your clients about what is the best financing option for them, what are the financing options that are available, and learning about VA loans, FHA loans, conventional versus unconventional loans. Like you have to learn about all that stuff, and you have to learn about how the mortgage rates affect these things, because you got fixed rate mortgages where there's a lot to buying a house, bro. It's not like walking into to Walmart and be like, hey, I want a house.
So do you see the rates now, the mortgage rates now?
So bro, I'm not buying a house.
It's very difficult to buy a house now.
It's almost impossible to buy a house now.
All right. And I say this, because, if you didn't get it in during COVID time when those rates were as low as, as
fours
they were,
and fives,
like that, I'm like, now you've totally missed the train. Now your mortgage rates now are touching 8% up to 10%. And it's reaching the highest since 2000.
I just saw it. The average mortgage rate as of yesterday was 8.1.
8
on the 30.
Yeah.
8.1.
So I have this right here. This article that came out. All right, mortgage rates hit 8% on Wednesday, the highest level since August of 2000, deepening the affordability of crisis for home buyers. The average rate for a 30-year loan mortgage touches 8%. All right, let's see, Mortgage Daily News, where surveys range in the lenders. Okay, let me see.
It's too much, bro. It's a lot.
Higher borrowers cost paired and elevated prices have home buyers are funded large. Reaching and doesn't. Yeah, it's really just a lot of filler stuff in there.
This is what you want. What they want right now is they want a plus 700, 720 credit score in that area. Mm-hmm. Then they want you to pay 8% mortgage on that. Now, mind you, plus 700 credit score.
20% down, or are they even asking for more now?
So I think they're still asking for 20% down, but the problem is that you have to be cherry. Mm-hmm. The only people that can afford to pay 8% on a $500, $200, $300, $400,000 house, like you've got significant money to do that, right? And not just significant money, but like significant disposable income.
Yeah.
Like, and so it's like, fuck, man. Like, you have to be the cream of the crop to get a house right now, which is. It's good in some aspects, but it's bad in other aspects, because when you can't, if people can't buy the houses, right, then you're going to have builders that are building houses that are going to be sitting stagnant.
Yeah.
And they're going to be sitting with builders incurring huge amounts of money on them, which means that when the mortgage rate goes down, this builder that's got to recoup what he lost on his house, the house is going to be priced way too high. People are going to end up being upside down on their houses. And I don't know why the mortgage rates are so high, and I don't know why the mortgage rates are so high, because it's that if you want to stimulate the economy and economic growth, you have to allow people to spend their money, and having people's money be held hostage in the bank because you have a mortgage rate that's 8%. You can't buy big ticket. We're just talking about mortgage rates, but loan rates are high as hell.
Yeah.
So nobody's getting any loans. So everybody's just sitting on what they have, or they're buying stuff in cash. That's not going to stimulate the economy any.
Hold on. So let me do this real quick. All right, because I'm gonna give you some numbers right here. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna give you some numbers right now. All right, and there's this guy. So that he's talking about, and matter of fact, I'll show you. I'll go ahead and post it up here on the screen right now. I'll share it on the screen. All right. So I won't listen to the whole thing, but the guy is talking about like that. So let's go back to the question that you asked right now. You know, you don't even know why mortgage rates are so high. You know, and that's a tough question. You know, I mean, I can't even answer that either. You know, I mean, I think it's just ridiculous, for a fact. You know, and the thing is, you know, let me share this. Okay, here we go. All right. So the thing is, you know, for anybody that's, you know, really, you know, like, why? Okay, why does anybody want to buy a house? You know, what's the main reason to buy a house?
You got to grow. You got to take care of your family.
Grow. You know, like, you know, well then why not just rent?
Wealth.
Exactly. Wealth. That's
Wealth.
what I want to get to.
Wealth.
You know what I mean? Because this is one thing that I always explain. You know, I explain to my wife. And I explain to anybody, you know, that's, you know, going down the route of renting versus buying,
right?
Know? And I'm like, I don't know. I'll probably say around 28, 29. This is where like really the light went off for me. You know, let's go back to my mentor, the guy that passed away.
Okay.
You know, for me,
right.
You know, because we talked about this.
Right.
And like, man, like he really opened my eyes to a lot of things. You know, and he simply just asked me a question like, you know, or just put it in a way like this. What's one thing that man can't make more of?
Right.
Land.
Earth.
That's it. Yeah.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Even as a big of a scare as like, you know, all the politicians talking about, you know, overpopulation, you know, and stuff like that. Like really, you know, overpopulation. You know what I mean? It's just we're just way too dense and overpopulated in certain areas of the world.
Right.
That's why, you know, they say these things. You know what I
Right.
mean? I'm like, ain't not one person really living in fucking bumfuck you of you know, Delaware or some shit like that, or North Dakota or South Dakota.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that.
It's like
yeah.
5 people in Montana.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, they're you know, I think they're even having like tax breaks or even paying people to move there, right? Or
Bro,
something like that.
in a lot of places, bro.
Yes,
a lot of places.
I'm like, don't tell me that we're overpopulated and
Right.
you know, and stuff like that, and we can't, you know, that's why all these rates are super high and shit like that. You know what I mean?